Guys, welcome to Winner Stays On podcast, and this is a new podcast for us. We're just going to kind of freeball it. One of our passions is sports. We're big sports fans. You can see UNC fan and a Green Bay fan. You want to explain this combo?
Not a Green Bay fan, but I'm just wearing a different hat just because the hat was in the studio, and I'm just going to maybe be wearing different hats.
Kind of show your fandom a little bit.
Just know that I'm an avid sports fan, but, we're going to be talking about any sport, honestly. We just saw Copa America final, Euro final, which we'll be making a podcast about soon. Probably the first one. Big Braves fans too. Big baseball fans, like basketball. We'll talk about anything.
Yeah, we'll talk about anything. We kind of go with the seasons, I would say. So right now it's kind of baseball.
NASCAR too.
Oh,
we love NASCAR.
Yeah, we love NASCAR. We're kind of involved with NASCAR, like family-wise. So a lot of people don't watch NASCAR, but we follow it pretty seriously. A little bit about us. We are, just to kind of tell you who we're rooting for so you can know when we're biased in videos.
It's good for them to know.
Yeah. So baseball, Braves. Big Braves fan. So Acuna news was...
Not a good year for the Braves. A lot of injuries, a lot of just bad stuff going on for them.
Yeah, bad injuries for the Braves. We're also Blazers fans. So we have family...
Yeah, it's kind of confusing, but it all makes sense on why we're fans of certain teams.
So we have family in Portland. So that's why we're Blazer fans, because... And to be honest, if there was a baseball team in Portland, I think we'd like them, but they're obviously not. So we're Braves.
I think Portland's our city just because
we're from the South.
A ton of our families, like you said, is in Portland.
Just MLS-wise, we're Timbers fans. We have...
But we do like Atlanta United, too, because...
We are originally from the Atlanta area.
Yeah, so... but we don't like the Falcons. We'll get NFL.
Yeah, we're not a Falcons and Hawks. Yeah, so we're actually split.
I'm a Panthers fan, and he's a Giants fan. Panthers fan because... We kind of grew up in the Panthers organization. Our mom actually was a part of the Panthers organization and worked there, so I kind of adopted that side. Whereas you with the Giants,
so the Giants
were more the dad side.
Yeah, it's dad. Our dad. He was born in New York. He was just always a Giants fan, and I actually got to go to Super Bowl 42 when I was way younger. I remember it, but. For those you don't know,
Super Bowl 50. Actually.
Super Bowl 42 was
I got the loss.
Giants upset against the 18-0 Patriots. So yeah, after I went to that game, I was like, all right, I'm definitely gonna stick a Giants fan because when you're young, your team wins. You're like, yeah, did I expect the Giants to be crap for the last decade? No, but that's okay. I'm still a Giants fan. And then
we already did NBA. We're Blazer fans.
College football. Again, with the family in Portland, they have been cheering for Oregon for their entire lives, so we kind of go with Oregon there. And then also,
we have a
Clemson
Oregon
fan because that's actually where I go. So,
and then I have a UNC shirt. Parent went to UNC.
But I would say the only diehard sport or diehard fans would be the Blazers for sure.
I would say diehard Blazers.
CJ.
We've never rooted for any other team other than the Braves in baseball.
Yeah.
Soccer's always been Timbers, and then when Atlanta United obviously got a team.
And for Prem or international, obviously U.S. men's national team, we will root for them. Huge. But I'm not a Prem team. I just don't want y'all to think we're just these bandwagoners who go for the good teams because the Giants stink. The Blazers.
I've never witnessed a championship in my life other than Clemson football and then MLS.
Yeah, Clemson football might really be the only dynasty that we're fans of, and it's because I attend the college. So
that's our sports.
It's kind of our sports, kind of who we like, who we don't like. Obviously, would be the rivals of all those teams. We don't have to get into that, but yeah. So on the pod, Winner Stays On. Why do we choose that? I don't really know.
We can go into why we chose it.
Okay, so let's just.
How old are we when we first hear this term? 8?
Had to be
8 to 10.
It was
a little later, probably 10 to 12.
I was 5 to 7 years ago.
I thought you were going to say 5 to 7 years old. But yeah, not too long ago, Nike commercial, Winner Stays On.
It's like a soccer commercial.
Soccer commercial. You could probably look at it.
Probably my favorite commercial of all time.
Loved it.
I grew up playing soccer. I still do in my free time. It's probably my favorite sport to play. So that, commercial, it's a soccer commercial. It's for the new soccer cleats that year. It's probably the Mercurials or something.
But we were trying to come up with ideas, and we were trying to do things that are sentimental to us, so we didn't want to do just the classic at the horn or at the buzzer. And then we also, it's hard to come up with a podcast name for
there are
every
plenty
single
of great sports podcasts out there.
Baseball, we could have done Out of Left Field.
Yeah, it's a
great
good
name.
one. Or Ball Don't Lie. It's a Johnny Manziel podcast. Great podcast name, but
there's a lot of podcasts
it was
out
taken.
there.
So we're going with Winter Stays On. I think it's gonna fit. I like it. I really like the name.
Yeah. Hopefully in the future, if this thing ever grows, we'll have a little Winter Stays On sign
Winter
somewhere in the
Stays On
background.
there,
But yeah.
So that's kind of why we chose the name. But yeah, that's a little bit about us, and we are excited to start this podcast journey. The great thing about a sports podcast is sports is constant, so there's always something to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Always something interesting to talk about. Like right now, got a lot of stuff going on. It's the summer, a lot of soccer,
a lot of baseball,
a lot of baseball,
basketball finals right now. So much sports going on.
Yeah, so we will hopefully you can tune in every time we get a video out, a little podcast out, and we are excited for you to come along on the journey. So we will see y'all in episode 1.